Can you guess what this is full of? If you said books, you were right, because it's full of books. It is. It's full of books. Secret's out. Bag's full of books. We're gonna be talking about books today.
Arguing again, arguing about something so simple. Make it clear, tell me why.
Hey friends, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today, I'm going to be recommending you guys some good summer reads, beach reads, summery books, books that give you the summer vibe, books you want to read in the summer. If you don't get it, I don't know how else I can explain it. So, we're in my car today and it is very hot outside, so I do have my AC on just a little bit, so if you can hear it, I'm very sorry, but it's so hot in here and I would overheat if I didn't have my AC on. I am very excited to talk about these books today because these are like my favorite kind of books, like summery vibe books that make me wish I was in the book. I was in the setting that the book is in, my fave books. I'm going to start by briefly mentioning the two that I haven't read just to get them out of the way, because I don't exactly know if I 100% will recommend them because I haven't read them yet, so I don't know what my rating is. I don't know exactly how the books pan out, but I know that they are summery vibes and I've seen other people recommend them, so I just wanted to throw them in here. It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. You can even tell just by the covers, and summer is literally in the name of this book, so you know that these are gonna be some good books to read in the summer. Next we're gonna get into a series. I don't know why I said it like that. We're gonna talk about a series, The Summer I Turned Pretty series by Jenny Han. This is a 5-star series for me. I love this so much. I read the first book while I was on the beach in Florida, and it was perfect. These books are pretty small. We've got The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. And yeah, these are great. They're being turned into a TV series, I'm pretty sure. If you don't know, Jenny Han also wrote To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and if you've seen those movies on Netflix, there's also a book series to them. These are so good. It's about a girl named Belly, and she goes to a beach house every summer to spend her summers there. The first book goes between the current summer and past summers. She is there with these two boys of the other family that they spend their summers with, Jeremiah and Conrad, and you get to see the relationships grow between her and the boys. The first book is definitely my favorite one, but the other two books are also really good. Next, we'll move into Emily Henry. You can just tell by the covers of her books how freaking cute and bright they are that they are happy summery books. I'm gonna go my least favorite to my favorite. Save the best for last. Least favorite Emily Henry book is Book Lovers. This is her newest release. I just recently read this one. It took me a little while to get through and to get into, but on the back it literally says one summer, two rivals, a plot twist they didn't see coming. So clearly it's a summery book if it's set in the summer. Basically it's about a character, the main character, her name is Nora. She is a literary agent, and her sister, they decide to go take a trip to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina, which is the setting of a book that her sister Libby really likes, and it also happens to be a book that an author wrote that Nora is an agent of, if that makes sense. Libby wants to go take a trip there, so Nora goes with her, and she runs into Charlie Lastra, who is an editor that Nora already knew from living in New York, and they run into each other in Sunshine Falls, and then romance ensues and a bunch of different things, family problems, all this different kinds of stuff. But my favorite part of the book is Charlie Lastra. I love Charlie. He's great. He's a great character. I love how Emily wrote him. Then we have Beach Read. This is about Gus and January. January has to go clean out her dad's beach house because he passes away, and conveniently Gus lives in the beach house right next to her dad's, and they used to be rivals in college, and so she's like, ew, hate that guy. And then she realizes that he's not really that bad. They're both in a big writing rut, and so they decide to switch genres. Gus is gonna write a romance, and January is gonna write a literary fiction. They are gonna take each other on cute little research dates to get each other in the mindset of how they would write their romance or their literary fiction books. And lastly, people we meet on vacation. which is my favorite Emily Henry book. One of my favorite books of all time, actually. I love this book. It is about Alex and Poppy, and they were like childhood friends to lovers, and then something happened and they don't talk to each other for a while, and then they reconnect. And that's like my favorite trope of a book ever, is childhood friends to lovers don't talk, something happens, they don't talk for a while, then they reconnect and try to figure things out. Chef's kiss. That is my favorite kind of book. If you tell me that that's what happens in the book, I am going to read it. One of the things that I love about this book so much is that instead of just being like, oh, Alex and Poppy took a vacation to this place at one point, they actually like go back in time and like tell you about the vacation that they took. So good. They took so many different cute vacations, and I think another reason I love this so much is because one of the vacations they took was to New Orleans, and I was living in New Orleans at the time that I read this, so I definitely could relate to that. And it was really cool to like see them talking about places that I went often while I lived there. Love this book. Please go read it. I love it so much. I've got one Colleen Hoover book to talk about, so we will go ahead and talk about this, Heart Bones, by the queen herself. Love Miss Colleen Hoover. She's my fave author. I read this book while I was on the beach in Florida also. It's pretty easy to get through. It's about a girl named Bea. Her mom passes away in the very beginning of the book, and she has to go live with her dad, who lives in like a beach house. And so she meets a boy named Samson, and basically the book's just about like her and Samson's relationship and their love life that sparks that summer. A big plot twist happens, because that's how Colleen Hoover's books are. Big plot twist happens, they resolve it, happy ending. And that's why I love Colleen Hoover so much, because we love a good plot twist and we love a good happy ending. I want every book to end in a happy ending, and she always makes sure that it does, because she's a queen. So definitely go read this. We've got 3 more books to talk about. First, I'm gonna go into The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. This book is adorable. This is a young adult book. It's pretty much just about Meredith and her family. They spend the summers on Martha's Vineyard, and her sister passes away, so for the summer right after her sister passes away, they don't go to spend the summer on Martha's Vineyard, and then the next summer they come back because they have a family wedding to attend, and it's her first summer back after her sister passed away, so there's a lot of emotions there. And her family plays a big game of assassin every year, which is like going around and like you have to like shoot them with a water gun and you like assassinate them. Her sister was like big into that game, like she was the assassin queen, and so Meredith decides she's gonna take it very seriously this summer in honor of her sister. And then she meets a boy from the other side of the wedding party, and she's like, he's fine. And so they start like a little love life, and you get to see that develop, and that's a lot of fun. I wish there would have been like a little bit more of the love life rather than the assassin game, but that was like a big part of the book, was like the assassin game. Like that was the main plot, and then like the romance was a subplot, and what you do get to see of the romance I loved so much. I read this in California on the beach. Then we have Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Most of the setting of this book is like a lake house in the summer that they get away to. This book is about Macy and Elliot and their love that ensues. Once again, this book is childhood friends to lovers. Something happens, they don't talk forever, they come back and try to rekindle their relationship. Before we get into this last book, I forgot I had 2 books that I don't have the physical copies of because someone's borrowing them, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about those, but I'll pop them up right here. We have We Were Liars and Family of Liars. Now, if you've read these books, you might be like, ew, I hated that book. It's not a summer book. What are you talking about? Because a lot of people do have a very strong dislike for this book, which I don't get because I love this book. I love these books. I have a big, big place in my heart for these books because We Were Liars actually is the book that got me into reading. I gave it a 5-star. Family of Liars, I gave a 5-star. This book is basically about a girl who, her family literally owns an island, and they have different houses that they live in on the island. Something big happens to her and she has a lot of memory loss. You get to see her healing from that and interacting with her family, but then there's also a big thing that's hush hush on the island that you don't know about until the very end, and then you figure out why it's so hush hush and why they weren't talking about it, because it's a crazy, I thought it was a crazy plot twist. I did not see it coming. I also almost had tears at the end. I've heard a lot of people talk about how, oh, I saw the plot twist coming. It wasn't sad at all. It was so predictable. Maybe it's just because it was like the first book that I had read to get me back into reading, but I did not think it was predictable at all. Like, I didn't see it coming whatsoever, and I thought it was really sad, okay? Like, it is really sad. If I were to tell you what happened right now, it's a very sad thing. I'm suggesting it as a summer read because it's set in the summer on a literal island. I also wanted to suggest this book for people who don't love romance books because there's a little bit of a subplot of romance, but it's mainly like, it's like mystery and like family problems. These books are by E. Lockhart, so E. Lockhart just came out with Family of Liars as well, which I personally like Family of Liars better than We Were Liars. Oh my gosh, this book was so good. I could not put it down. These are also young adult books. Family of Liars is about, so the girl in the first book, the main girl in the first book, the second book is about their parents. Not the girl's parents, but like one of the main children in the first book, it's about one of their parents. So you get to see why they're such a big family of liars, like where this whole like liars thing came from. It's really good. It's like set back when their parents were children and what happened in their summer that turned them into liars. And once again, there's a subplot of romance. Into our last book, Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Oh, it's so good. I just recently read this. I rated it a 5-star. This book is about a girl named Persephone, but they call her Percy throughout the whole book. They have like a lake house. She meets these boys named Sam and Charlie. Once again, we've seen a common theme here of what I love reading. Childhood friends to lovers, something happens, they don't talk for a while, they rekindle their relationship. Blah, 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 blah. We know the gist, but that's what this book also is. So her and Sam end up being in love, and then something happens, and then they get reconnected because Sam and Charlie's mother passes away, and Percy gets a call that's like, hey, we need you back here for the funeral because we know she would have wanted you there, even though we haven't talked to him forever. She goes back for the funeral, and then you just get to see them be angry at each other, be in love with each other, like just so many emotions. It's also a back and forth timeline, and so you get to see the current and the past summers and them falling in love. You get to see what happens and why they fell out of love, or not even fell out of love, just stopped talking, like the big thing that happened that made them stop talking, and why they were so angry with each other. It's really, really good. That is the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed sitting with me and chatting about some summer reads. I hope you guys got some recommendations to read this summer, and I would love it if you drop some more recommendations down in my comments down below that I didn't mention in this video, because I'm always looking for book recommendations. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please go follow me on all my social medias. They're always linked in the description down below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time I upload a video, as well as commenting down below what book recommendations. Comment down below what video ideas you want me to do. If you stayed this long into the video, also comment one of the book emojis. I don't care, whichever one you want, whichever one is calling you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have so much footage to go edit now, so I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna start doing that. Bye, I love you.